Hello, my friends. I am Carl, and today I want to talk to you about process. You may be wondering, Carl, why are you filming these videos on these back roads? Well, because right now I'm currently in Central California. I've been here since the beginning of September, and I came here because my wife and I, we were moving out of San Francisco to go to Sweden. But due to COVID and a few other life events that I may share here in a future video, we are now based in Fresno, California, and we're here until hopefully not later than April. So that's why I'm here, and you always see me on these back roads, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about process. I'm trying to get creative here with some of my shots, or at least switch it up a little bit so it's not just this one-shot monotone thing. Anyways, when it comes to process, you probably heard the saying, which is focus on the process, not on the outcome. And if you've heard this, maybe you've been like myself where you've said, wow, these are some pretty wise words, but what is the practical application of this saying? And how do I integrate the lessons that exist within that saying into my own practice? Well, that's exactly what I am going to attempt to do with this video, and sharing a very simple hierarchy that I use to think about this saying in particular. If you're wondering what's up with my hair, well, I'm just going to let it grow until the World Health Organization lets us know that the pandemic is over. So we'll see how long it gets. Okay, so in regards to process over outcome, the hierarchy that I use is very simple. It's process at the top, underneath it goes progress, under progress goes progression, and under progression goes outcome. And this is the way I think about it. When I look at process, I look at the act of simply doing, whether it's a plan or expressing yourself freely and simply allowing your curiosity to guide you. That's process in a nutshell. When I think about progress, I think about change, I think about adaptation, I think about movement in the direction of a particular outcome. This can be positive or negative, and we can talk about that later. When I think about progression, I'm thinking about specific steps that one takes to get where they want to go. And then finally, when I think about outcome, I'm thinking about a destination, a goal. So let's start by playing a little game of reverse engineering, and let's start with the outcome itself. When you think about an outcome, that's a destination, a goal. And what does a goal do for us? Well, what it does is it repositions us. And when you think about repositioning yourself, what you're doing is you're facing something, you're facing the destination, you are oriented towards it. And when you start thinking about orientation, you maybe start thinking about navigation, how you are going to get there. And when you start thinking about how you're going to get there, you also start thinking about the vehicle that you're going to have to build to get you to the destination itself. A lot of times that vehicle is our bodies. And if you think about that vehicle, you probably start thinking about what fuels and powers the vehicle. Well, that's purpose when it comes to the human experience. And this is something that Thomas Carlyle said, which is that a person without a purpose is like a ship without a rudder. In other words, an outcome gives us purpose. And if you simply think about the act of finding your purpose, that is part of your process and also part of a progression. And what is a progression? Well, a progression is simply a set of steps that we take to get where we want to go. And when it comes to progressions, there are an infinite number of resources out there. And it's up to you to look for those resources and start to implement them in your practice. And when doing this, what you'll notice is that there are elements that work for you and elements that do not. And in between those that work for you and those that don't work for you, you start to reveal your process, your unique way of doing things. And the moment you start to realize your own way of doing things, you are making progress. And thus, boom, we have now been elevated from focusing on progression to focusing on progress. And when it comes to progress, it's extremely important that we exercise awareness. This is noticing the changes that are happening through the progression that you have gone through and in relationship to the outcome or destination that you have set course towards. And in order for progress to be positive, it's extremely important that it feels good. The difference between something that feels good and something that feels bad is that something that feels good is nourishing, it feels peaceful, fulfilling, and it connects us not only with ourselves but also with others. Something that feels bad makes us feel heavy and paranoid and neurotic, and mostly it separates us from ourselves and that which is around us. And it's right here in this moment when you notice progress that you become process-oriented and you start to realize that the process is the outcome itself. If any of what I just shared resonated with you, do me a favor and leave a comment, ask me a question, hit the like button, subscribe, notification bell, all that stuff that keeps this channel powered, and we'll keep the conversation going next year, which for me is tonight. Other than that, thanks again for being here. I appreciate every single one of you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.